seeing right now is feed from two cameras. My old camera and my new camera. This is the Canon Rebel T5I and this is the Canon Rebel T8I. Here's what I'm seeing from my perspective. I know the old one looks a lot bigger. What's going on here is I've got two different lenses on. So unfortunately the side-by-side comparison isn't very accurate because of the fact that I'm using two lenses. I don't have two of the same lens. That's why we have to do it this way. But a little later on, I'll do it so that I'll set up one camera, we'll do some scenery shots, and then I'll set up the other camera with the same lens, and then we'll compare those side by side. Generally, I'm thinking that the new camera is going to give me better video, but that's not really why I bought it. Why I bought it was mainly for the autofocus. The autofocus on the old camera sucked. It really sucks. Right now, I've got face tracking going on. And I can even see that the old camera is trying to follow my face around. I don't even know if I'm in focus on the old camera. I almost never use autofocus, or I should say almost never leave it turned on because it doesn't focus very well at all. And I don't know if it's focusing right now. Like I'll often use autofocus, especially if I turn my head, like, you know, it doesn't know what's going on. The new camera actually seems really good at picking up. So what I've got on the new camera is a new lens that came with it, a kit lens, 18 to 55 focal length. The other one is 24 to 105. That's why this one is a slightly wider angle. Well, actually it's a much wider angle than this one is. Here, I'll show you what I'm seeing from my end. So the old camera, I want you to try to track my, if I can get this out, I want you to try to track my face. Like, whoa, where'd you go? Or if I do something like this, how quickly does it pick up? Whereas the new one, it's solid, it's right on me. It's hard to lose. That's not my face anymore. It's nice and snappy when it's trying to track. But we'll try some of the other tracking modes because this isn't. It's not just the face tracking one that I didn't like on the old camera. It's all of the tracking, all of the autofocus modes are really sucky. So now we're set to single point autofocus. There's a little square in the screen. See if I can catch this on the GoPro. Did I just turn that off? Oh, it's in picture mode. Arrgh. Come on, get over there. The only thing I don't like about the GoPro, one of the few things I don't like about the GoPro is so easy to hit the screen and accidentally send it into a different mode. So there's the square, and there's, I gotta stand in front of it, there's the square on that one. For some reason it's smaller on that camera. So what that's doing is it's going to try and autofocus on whatever's in the square. I see I'm not quite in the square on both cameras, but here I should be. And if I move, then it should focus on whatever's now in the square, which is the background. This type of autofocus works. It's the best autofocus on the old camera. Just whatever's in the square it tries to focus on. So it doesn't have to track anything. It doesn't have to worry about focusing on a lot of stuff. Just what's in the square. And I would sometimes use it, but sometimes still it's not very good, especially if you do this sort of thing and then you go like this and it sits there trying to hunt back and forth. I have no idea what it's doing right now, if it's working. The square's not quite in the same spot for both cameras, so I'm trying to cover the area. And how does that look? Alright, let's try one of the other modes. So this is multi-focus mode. I can already see on the old camera that it had some problems at the beginning. So in fact it's called multi on the old camera, it's called zone on the new camera, which kind of makes sense. So it's trying to focus on a larger area. Now there's a box on the new camera. The box is like here. I'm not sure why. In the old camera it's like this. The box is this big, so it's trying to focus on all these things. The new camera should have better autofocus over multiple areas of the view. Let's say I forget all the technical terms, but I'm not even in focus here, am I? Here looks pretty good. But this is kind of the autofocus I use if I'm just shooting kind of a scene. Say I'm working on something and I kind of want everything kind of to be in focus. So like the camera should be trying to get everything in focus. It's more of a, so you get that depth as well. But another thing that the old camera does, the old camera is horrible in this mode, absolutely horrible. Like I'm not sure if it's doing it now, but it will start to phase. Like everything in the background will kind of do this phasing in and out, like it's hunting for focus. And it might not be doing constantly, but like every few seconds it might go, oh, yeah. If I can catch it, like some moving branches, you'll probably see it really well. This one doesn't look like it's, oh yeah, very slow focus on that. Focus on this should be a lot faster as well. Should be able to adjust. Now the new camera has one more focus mode, and I'm not even sure, I gotta read up on it. Let me read up on it and then we'll continue. So the manual for this is like, not very big, and there's like 6 different languages in here. It's very basic stuff. Nothing about the autofocus, but this is Spot. It's called Spot autofocus, and the little square on it where it's focusing is tiny. It's like this big. So I'm not sure why that's different than the larger single focus. Does that work? Did it suddenly refocus on the... I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure out more information about that. But yeah. But I wanted to okay, we're back to face tracking on both cameras. Just wanted to talk a little bit about why this is so annoying for me to try and do what I'm trying to do with the focus. Quite often you'll see a shot of me standing next to one of these poles as I talk to the camera. And the hard part is most of the time I'm standing here, I'm out here by myself. I have to work the camera and I have to stand in front of the camera. And if the autofocus isn't spot on, like this stupid camera, then I have to set the focus and then come in front of the camera. Well, that's difficult if I'm not in the shot. I can't set the focus on myself. So what I do is I'll focus on the pole with the camera, and that's when I do use the autofocus. I use the autofocus to set the focus, and then I turn it off, right? I set it to manual, and then I get in front of the camera and I do my talking. But so often, you know, I get the card inside and it's blurry. Like it's just somehow it didn't focus on the pole, and I can't see those screens in any finite detail enough that I can see what the focus is, like how well the focus is. So it's not until I get it in there that I realize it's off. So I'm like, ugh. It's great when City Girl is here, because I can say, can you come help me set the focus on that? And she's pretty good. She knows how to work the camera now. So I'll stand in front of the camera. She uses the autofocus to hone in on my face, and then she turns it off, and then I can do my scene. That's the best thing. The other thing I do is I talk to this woman. Is it picking it up? Is it picking it up? So it's still got my face. Does this camera not see this face? Oh, there it is. Okay. So that should be both cameras looking at it. I just ripped this picture out of a magazine. A magazine we had, I think it was, I don't remember. But I ripped it out, and so what I sometimes do is I'll tack this to the, like if I'm standing at the pole, I'll tack this to the pole, and then use that to focus it on the woman's face. Use the autofocus to hit the woman's face, and then I'll, you know, turn it off, and then I'll take this down, and then I'll do my speech. But not even that works all the time either. And it's a pain trying to tack this up in places where I'm going to be standing, because I never, you know, if I'm in the kitchen, it's worse in low light conditions on this camera, way worse. And I can't, if I'm standing in the middle of the kitchen, then it gets a little tricky. I got to get into the tripod, pull the thing up, somehow get this attached to it, you know, focus in on it, and it's a pain in the ass. Anyway, yeah, I gotta go watch some of this footage, but we're gonna do a comparison now. I'm gonna do some scenery shots. Maybe I'll do some shots, make it look like I'm working, and we can compare the video side by side, and I'll use the same lens on both cameras, so that way we can really compare them, the cameras side by side. Let's do it. Sorry about that, Russell. I had to pause this to just quickly say that I'm editing this video right now, and I very quickly discovered that all the clips from the T5I are way more colorful than the T8I. Like they're way oversaturated. Not oversaturated, but they're saturated more. And I'm not sure why. I'm going to have to poke into the settings on both cameras and see what's going on. I thought maybe a white balance thing. I'm not sure what it is. And I could easily correct that in the editing process. I mean, if you take these two shots together, I could easily take the T8I and shot and do this to it. But I decided not to. I thought, I'm just going to leave all the clips as is. I'm not going to do any editing on them. So as you're watching them, you don't have to be too concerned that about the color of the clip, or if one is one camera is lighter or darker than the other. That's not really that important. What you're really looking at is like the crispness of the shot, like the shot of the tree on the other side of the pond, side by side. Check out the crispness of it. And then the other thing is the autofocus, how fast and accurate it is. Those two things are really the important parts. Anyway, Russell, I will let you get back to this video. Here we go. So this is interesting. I put it into one of the auto modes. Up till now, I've had it in manual on both cameras, and I've set all the settings manually to be the same on both cameras. So it's should be the exact same kind of picture we're getting. But I'm on an auto mode right now, and it's using face tracking, which is wonderful. I can't stress enough how wonderful it is to not have to worry about the focus anymore. This is the new camera, by the way. The other thing it's done in this auto mode is it said, oh, well, the thing that's in focus is really too dark. So it's I know it's probably blown up the ISO to bring me into better light, but it's blown out the background, the backlight, which is what I would have done anyway, right? I would have upped something so that I'm in a better light. Oh, what's that screw? What if I stood like this? Nope, nothing changed. Okay. Anyway, I've learned some things while doing this. I still haven't figured out what that other autofocus mode is. This camera is taking great video, really nice pictures. I watched some of them inside. Some of the shots where I'm framed against a little blurry background, they look really crisp and clear. Really happy with that. Whereas a lot of the shots on that camera, stuff that should have worked like so easily, I'm pointing at the T5I. They're just crap. Just crap. Like, I'm not in focus at all. It's supposed to be focusing on my face. I'm not in focus at all. So I don't know what's going on. But I'm loving this. We should try some inside shots. So a low light situation is what we've got here, and this is one of those ones where I quite often, if I'm trying a meal I've just made, I'll stand here and talk. Trying to set the autofocus in here is impossible. It's great when City Girl is here and she can set the focus for me. But did I say trying to set the autofocus? Trying to set the focus in here. So sometimes I'll be like, even if she's here but she doesn't want to be in the shot, I'll say, okay, stand here for me so I can set the focus. Sometimes I'll just set the focus on something here, right? Because I know I'll be standing that far away and the focus will be about the same. But this will be so nice. We've still got the old camera on this side and the new camera on this side. They're both in auto mode as well. Auto mode I use more often than people say you should. But it becomes important because... Why is that so different? Are we zoomed in here or something? We are a little bit zoomed in. That's more similar. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, the thing about auto modes, and both cameras have a number of different auto modes where it'll set the shutter, the aperture, the f-stop for you, or you can set one of those and have it auto mode the other two, the ISO. Did I mention ISO? Anyway, but on a partly cloudy day where the clouds are rolling across the sky pretty quick and I'm sending out a shot and I'm working outside, I pretty much have to use auto mode because you can't set the settings, hit record, and then run down to do some stuff, and then a cloud goes over the sun and all the conditions have changed. So, you know, I use auto mode for something like that. Today there isn't a cloud in the sky. It's perfect for just setting the camera up manually and then doing your thing. I should be walking around a little bit while I talk, because I could be like, oh, I bought this. Tell you what, I bought this watermelon. Oh, it was so good. It's so sweet. It's taking me forever to eat it. I'd probably get drunk if I ate it now. It's hard to get through, but I thought I'd just take off a great big slice, cut it into triangles, and then go out on the edge of the deck and eat it. That's the way to eat watermelon. So I don't really want to do a comparison on auto modes. You know, it is what it is kind of thing. I think that in general, for some reason, the T5I, I'll point in the right place, seems to be darker. I don't know why it would be darker. Unless I've got something to do with the white balance. The T8I, let me check that quickly. Okay, it's not going to give me any white balance settings because I'm in full auto mode. I'm using the auto mode where it sets all the settings for you, as opposed to where you pick a setting or two that you want to set yourself and then let the camera pick the rest. So I guess it's setting the white balance for me, which is weird that they would be any different. I don't know, maybe when I get these on my computer, I'll see the truth of it, right? I should turn my head a little bit now and then just to see if it keeps tracking, or if it's... What happens if I do this? Walk sideways toward the cameras. Has it still got me? Is it getting the side of my face? That's gonna be fun to play with anyway. What's next? What should we try next? So I'm fairly disappointed in myself. I just now realized that the new camera, which is this one, is shooting at 30 frames per second this whole time, and the old camera set to 24 frames per second. So these comparison shots are, I don't know, they might not look very good. But if you're seeing me talk about this right now, then I decided to just go with it. If you're not seeing me talk about this right now, then I decided to reshoot everything. But since I'm losing light, I don't think I will reshoot everything. I've transferred the old mic to the new camera, the furry thing on top. So last time I was standing here and talking, the sound probably sounded a bit weird. I've been having problems with this mic. It's got a setting on the top for plus 20 dB, minus 20 dB, or just flat. And I usually have it set flat, but for some reason, like, the internals are messed up in it, because it will suddenly go plus 20 decibels or minus 20 decibels, like just randomly. So my thing now is I turn on the mic, I flick that switch up and down, set it where I want, and then do a test. And if it's good, then I shoot. That's not the way to go. I need this stuff to work. Anyway, I might be switching to a lavalier mic soon. A lavalier is you pin it here, like a little mic you pin here, so it always kind of gets your best voice. We'll see. I'm not sure if I want to do that, but I probably will. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you appreciate this talk. You generously watching my videos has ended up paying for my new camera. I also have a new stand. I'm not sure about the stand. The only nice thing about the stand so far is it's got the ball mount, so I can grab the camera. I'll show you. I can grab the camera and just kind of, whoops, roll it around to exactly where I want it to be, as opposed to the old tripod, where if I had to get the camera level, you have to work with the legs until the whole, until it's level at the top. This is not so much. I can just set the legs down, move the camera until it's level, and boom, off we go. So I'm not sure if I like it. I think this is actually really nice for quickly getting the angle that you want. Like if it's hard. Like shooting that tree across the way on the old tripod. It's like trying to get everything just right. I don't know. This one was faster. And once I had it set, it didn't kind of slowly move once I had it there. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. We'll see you in Friday's video. Peace out!